What's up, gentlemen? This is Rising Phoenix Podcast about how to rise up after your divorce. I'm your host, divorce coach, Michael Rhodes. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to the show. This is episode 150. This is going to be a solo one. I'm going to talk about various things. It's not going to be a special episode, even though I think 150 episodes is fairly significant. I don't have anything extravagant planned. As you have noticed, I think I'm a bit off schedule, off track. I had a really good run for a while of keeping a consistent sort of format or pattern or whatever. And I did record a solo episode 3 weeks ago. First let me back up and say happy Father's Day. It is 11:26 p.m. on Father's Day. I am exhausted. It was a long and good day, but long. And there's a part of me that definitely would have rather just gone to bed, but I wanted to provide an update. One, I'm fine. It's just I did record a solo episode like I was saying about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't feel like I had anything to say. I felt forced, and as I've said before, I don't want to force solo episodes. I want it to sort of Jim Morrison's the singer of the Doors, late Jim Morrison, once said about I think he said about writing, where it has to be automatic, where it's not thought, it's just flow. I'm paraphrasing his quote, but I used to love the Doors. I mean, I still love the Doors, but there's many Jim Morrison quotes that stuck with me, and that was one of them. And I kind of feel that way. I don't want to force anything, but I did want to make sure I provided an update and let you know I'm good, and let you know that I'm going to take a little bit of a break, only because, well, a few reasons. One, I don't have any interviews recorded. I am out, and I need to replenish. And I'm talking to a few people, but I haven't gotten anything scheduled yet. Now that it's summer, things are, yeah, more difficult, I guess, is the correct description. It's just, I got a lot going on. And now that the girls are out of school, you would think that there would be some reprieve, but it actually causes sort of more stuff, vacations and summer camps. And now that, when I travel for work, now that they're not in school, I can take them with me, which we did recently, and it was awesome. And so that's kind of throwing a wrench into things. But probably the bigger reason, I think, is I'm going to redo, I think I said this, I'm going to redo the studio. And that's going to take a little bit of time. It's nothing major. It's just going to take some time. So those two things are going to cause me to take a break. I'm not sure. I think I will aim for, I don't know if I want to push it out to the beginning of August, but it might go that long. I hope not. There is a part of me that's afraid if I take a break that I'm going to stop, but I don't think so. This is the one thing that I mean, I love being a father. I do. But it is a lot. And I like getting a paycheck, but my job is a lot. My job is really stressful, man. I'm going through a bout of feeling this weird feeling of imminent firing. And I don't know. They say trust your gut and all that, and I'm trying to figure out, is it my gut or is it my insecurities? I'm not sure. But I don't have a good feeling about this job, and I'm doing okay as far as I could tell, and there's no complaints. I mean, I had one small thing. Wasn't even my boss. It was somebody else, and my boss didn't seem to care so much. But I don't know. I just have this feeling. It's my gut telling me that this is this is not going to work out. Something's not working here. But I've had a history of changing jobs fairly frequently. And so I don't know if it's my habit, or, and when I say fairly frequently, I'd say I probably average 3 years at a job, roughly. Some more, some less. My last one was like 2 years. And the one before that was like four, maybe 4.5. Um, so I don't know if it's that sort of bad habit, if it's um, it's always better to look for a job when you have a job. And so maybe I'm sort of, um, being paranoid maybe, or worrying, or trying to stay ahead of it. Um, I think in business, as in life, it's cyclical, and the company has had a lot of success, and it's not going to last forever. And you know, part of me worries if that means that I'm going to be on the chopping block because I've only been there a year and a half. So, but I don't know. I'm trying to balance out these um, insecurities that I do have, and I think we all have, right? With my intuition and my gut. So I don't know. It's definitely, it's really stressful when you have these type of feelings, and I mean, you could liken it to a relationship, right? If you have a bad feeling about how the relationship's going, then, um, you're not going to be good in it. And so, you're going to worry, and you're not going to focus on doing the right things or the good things. I think you would focus on sort of, I don't know, damage control or whatever, or trying to keep it together or whatever. So, I'm fighting back my insecurities and trying not to give into them, and trying not to panic and all that good stuff. But it's hard, man. And I think it's a totality. I think it's life in general, right? I mean, being a single dad, even if it's half the time, that shit is fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. Like today, I mean, I weed whacked. I'm filling the pool back up. I did laundry, dishes. Then we went out and did stuff: mini golf, arcade, dinner, lunch. Well, here it is, 11:30 at night on a Sunday, and I should be in bed, but I want to get this out. So, and that's a lot, obviously. And then you couple that with a job where there's a lot of travel. I cover the entire United States. I have very little help. It's very stressful, man. Um, but I don't want to leave because I sort of have a track record of leaving jobs sooner than probably the norm. I think the average is 4 years. I'm at about 3. So I don't want to go anywhere. And by the way, when I was thinking about this in terms of solo episodes, and I think, how much do they? And you can, man, if you could answer somewhere. Apparently, you can text me now. If you go to, I guess I don't think it's not Spotify. And by the way, thank you. There's a few folks who've done the Spotify Q&A. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I can't respond to you other than here. Maybe I should do that. But apparently, Buzzsprout is the host. That's where I upload the podcast, and then it goes out everywhere. If you go to Buzzsprout, if you go to the web, the podcast webpage on Buzzsprout, so I guess it's buzzsprout.com/Rise of Phoenix podcast. I think, not 100% sure. Anyway, you can apparently text the podcast. I don't know what the number is or how it works. I just know I got an email and said, "Hey, we got this new feature." So anyway, or whatever. Send me an email, send me a message, whatever. I wonder, like, how much do y'all want to know about, like, my personal life? And I suspect that you do, because I'm living the same life you are, and I'm sure you're curious as to how I'm doing, and what struggles I have, and all those kinds of things. But then a part of me is like, well, maybe that's not interesting, or whatever. But I think it is. I think it's an important part of all this. because I'm sharing my journey with you to, and I know not all of it is divorce related, or like I'm talking about my job, but I'm sure that the insecurity piece is probably very fucking relevant. I think we all have insecurities to varying degrees. Not all of them are debilitating or whatever, but I don't think there's a person that is confident 24/7. I just don't think that fucking exists. So, hopefully me sharing these other things that are sort of outside of divorce are helpful as well. Um, so, and if it's not, let me know. I think I do think it's an important component. So, um, I guess the other thing I'll talk about is, I made this episode, I'm sorry, a couple episodes ago. I can't remember the number. And it was, a pretty emotional episode. And I think that episode, more than any other in the history, I think, of the podcast, that I get a direct response from people. And I'm grateful for it. Thank you. There's only really one negative, and that's fine. And whatever. I think I talked about that, but I want to sort of counteract that a little bit. So, I am sorry to her for the things I've done. But it's not all on me. And she wasn't a fucking saint either. Let's not let her off the hook. Let's not let these ladies off the hook. And this is something I've struggled with my whole entire life. I don't have borderline personality disorder, but I have traits of it. And I think I'm pretty sure my mother was full blown or is full blown borderline personality disorder. And so one of the aspects of that components of that is black or white thinking. I definitely, I'm aware of it, but sometimes I struggle with it. And so what I'm saying that is because I'm saying I'm sorry, that doesn't mean that I did all the wrong and she didn't do anything wrong. That's bullshit, horseshit. No, no fucking way. Let's not forget, she lied to me. She said she was going to stop talking to this dude, and she didn't. And by the way, I didn't even tell her to stop talking to this guy. And that's a whole other story, right? And sometimes I worry about my honesty too. That's a whole other topic. But sometimes I worry about how that's may come back to haunt me, maybe. But anyway, so she lied. I'm fairly certain she cheated. She fucking left. Like she left. She left the marriage. She left the family. She destroyed a family. She took a perfectly good family with all its flaws and warts and all that good shit, and she blew it apart. Fuck her. Yes, I'm sorry for the things I did that contributed to that for sure. But she's the one who ultimately left. And so, but that doesn't mean she's a bad person either. Like I am learning, right? Life is lived in the gray, man. It's not black or white. She's a good mother. Did what she did make her a good mother? No. But the way that she treats them and cares for them, she's a good mother. Do I think her actions of divorce made her a good mother? No, I don't. But that doesn't mean she's in totality a bad mother. Do I think that she's a bad person? No, I don't think she's a bad person. I think she fucked up. I think if you look at her, and this is the point that I think is important for all of us to understand. And I know this is a touchy subject in terms of finances and effects of divorce and all that thing, but statistically, and I was going to pull these up, I completely forgot. Men do better in the long term after divorce than women. And if you look at just finances alone, and I get dating is a fucking shit show and it's easier for women and all that kind of stuff. That's another topic, another debate, another time. Financially speaking, eventually it pays out better for men. And I know there's some of you out there that pay alimony and pay child support. I pay child support, but at least, and I could be wrong on this, I know for child support I'm not wrong. It's finite. It ends at some point. And so at that point, I get a raise, right? And it's going to be a while, but it's coming nonetheless. And alimony, I think there are some states that are lifetime, maybe just one, or I'm not sure. I am fortunate that I don't pay that. And so I don't think there is many. And if you're out there and you're like, motherfucker, I pay a lot. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't set the law. But these things are finite in general. Okay, maybe there's a few I'm missing, and again, apologies. But even if that's the case, you're going to continue to make more money, more than likely, right? That's what fucking inflation is. Right? If you look at worker pay, or it's finally going up, but that also leads to inflation. That's again another topic, another time, another discussion. Actually, probably won't have that topic or discussion on this podcast, but you understand what I'm saying. I've made a lot more money over the few years since she's gone, and she has too. But I'm still above her. I'm always going to be above her, unless of course my worst fears come true and I lose my fucking job. But even so, I'll still find something else. And so I think that it's I know it's hard, but we have to have the ability to look at not just the positive, not in a bullshitty kind of way, but in the reality, right? Is she a bad person? And I know that I probably have it way better than some of you do. I am sure of that. But I'll tell you, here's the difference. Let me finish this point, and that is try and see things through a logical, realistic lens, and not one that comes from your own biases. And I'm guilty of it too. But step back and take a look back, and see sort of play out your life and see where it could go, and where hers is and where hers could go. And I think ultimately we're going to do better. And I don't think that's bullshit. But here's why I think, and I'll wrap up with this, I think. And I know I say that shit all the time. In the very beginning, my behavior in the beginning was not admirable, but in that, when I didn't communicate. I would just be like, fuck you. She'd be like, I don't know anything about the kids or anything. And I would pretty much just be like, go fuck yourself. That's pretty much the way that I behaved. Like a child in some ways, but also, protective, and also disengaged. And that's the key. And I think because I was and she could be listening to this and be like, okay, motherfucker, let's see if this still holds true. Hopefully she doesn't. I don't want to be tested. But because I think I disengaged so much that whatever she did not get a rise out of me, at least not to her. She never seen it. I would complain to other people, but because she never seen it, she stopped it. Like, she doesn't give me a lot of shit. She's very amicable, and so am I, by the way. I mean, but I think she is with me because I am with her. But it wasn't always that way. But I think because I disengaged so much and didn't feed into any drama or bullshit or negativity. I see some posts sometimes in that Facebook group. It's a lot of like, well, she did this. Can you believe she did that? Or she's doing this. And a lot of times I'm like, if you just let it go, it'll go away. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but don't feed into, they want attention. Listen, man, they married you. They loved you. You're a part of their life, and if you have children, they're going to be a part of your life for the rest of it. So don't tell me they don't want your attention. Don't tell me they don't want your reactions. Fucking A right, they do. Don't give it to them. And then eventually, if you can establish those boundaries, right? Buzzword, and sort of stand on your own 2 feet and stand up for yourself and stop engaging, then some of this bullshit will go to the wayside. I really truly believe that. I believe that her and I have a decent relationship. By the way, we're not friendly. I'm nice to her. I tell her I even told her a happy birthday the other day. It was her birthday. I told her happy Mother's Day. I wouldn't say I was lying. Yeah, happy birthday. Did that hurt me to say that? No. Did it help the relationship? Maybe. Did it cause her to not complain if I haven't paid for something that I was supposed to yet because I fucking forgot, because I forget every fucking thing? Where she could be like, I'm calling my lawyer, and we're going to send you a letter or whatever to your lawyer or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So the relationship is better, but it's partially because definitely my choice in terms of I'm going to be a better person, the bigger person, but also because initially I didn't engage. I didn't feed into the bullshit and the drama. I didn't give her the attention she wanted. Now, again, she could be listening to this and be like, okay, game on. I hope she doesn't. Um, but I'll handle it if she does. And I'm not saying this is easy. I get it because it's a way for us to stay connected, right? That drama and arguing and bullshit, it keeps you connected with them. And I get it. I do get it because I do miss that woman that I loved. And she's right there. And I could engage with her and I could find ways to fight and argue and pull her in and into arguments and all kinds of shit. I could do that. Um, I don't want to. And I'll tell you why. Here's the biggest reason. Because when she is able to affect my mood, my outlook on life, then I'm not in control. Then she does win. I would rather be control. Sorry, not control. Uh, that's a tricky word. This is one of those things that I think is important for the distinction to be made. And I think I've said it before. Jonesy says it in episode 2. You can't control your emotions, but you can manage them. And I don't want her to manage any part of me anymore. It's my responsibility. Again, a lot of guys are like, well, she said this, and okay, but that's your response. And I get it. It's hard. I got an email today from my boss on a fucking Sunday on Father's Day. He sent me a fucking email and it set me off a little bit. Not set me off, but I felt it getting me upset. And I was with my kids and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not letting this motherfucker or anyone else ruin my time with my children. Now it took a little while. It took a few minutes for me to sort of de-escalate myself, right? To soothe myself. I didn't drop into my body, but I should have, but I do try to do that. Um, I don't want other people to rule my life. I don't. And I'm not always great at it. Believe me, I'm not always great at it. And sometimes it's not about, well, not sometimes. It's not about never being affected by another person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying be, ice in your veins, fucking steel spine. Like, don't be affected by anything anyone else does. That's not fucking possible. What I'm saying is manage it. And so that when it comes and you feel it and you are aware of it, you're mindful, you're conscious, you can go, but that's not how I want to be. I don't want that person's email. I don't want her action to affect me, to manage where my life goes. Because let's say, like someone posted this the other day, and I totally understand the guy's point. Some random dude, I guess, picked up his kids at school, and he didn't know anything about it, and he had every right to be pissed. But and maybe there's some legal stuff there in terms of the school and who can pick up people. I heard people commenting that you should call it school. He's not on the list. And let me tell you something. My school didn't have a list, so I don't know. I mean, we had numbers. If you had the number, you could just get the kids. Is that a fucked up system? I mean, the kids knew the guy, so I mean, I don't know if they had a number. I don't know what the fuck they had, but anyway, my point is they were focusing on a lot of the comments and this guy were focused. Well, I think he was actually more for looking for information or for input and for advice. At the end of the day, you can't control what she does. Now, again, legal things, what the school allows, sure, maybe there's some avenues there, but what I believe that woman, his ex-wife, or maybe it was soon to be ex, I'm not sure, wanted was a reaction out of that dude. And if he doesn't give it, and I'm not saying she would stop right then and there, but the less you interact and engage with shit you can't control, the less the people that can control and manage you will stop because they're not getting the satisfaction. So, and again, I'm aware that that is very fucking hard, but it's not impossible. And in some ways, it is the fucking goal. I want to be responsible for my life. I don't want anyone else to dictate my feelings, my emotions, and yes, obviously they will, but I want to be able to manage it to make it work in my favor. So I think that's all I got. Um, it'll be a little while, I think, before you hear from me. I'm going to say the 1st of August or the first week of August, the first Tuesday in August, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it will be anywhere past that. I'm just not sure. I'm gonna send some follow-up emails tonight. I have 3 people I'm talking to record an episode. I got a few other ideas and irons in the fire. and I'm not done. I need a little bit of a break to sort of retool, reset, recharge, and refuel. So until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Since my separation in July of 2019, I have done an incredible amount of work on myself. I've had many different therapists, life coaches, and went through different programs. I've taken all that I've learned and put it into my own program called Forged by Fire. If you are interested in having me help you navigate your divorce, please hit my website, risingphoenixdivorcecoach.com. I look forward to working with you.